Hello everyone, I'm Renown Zero, and we're back again talking about some more Riververse detractors. There's a couple of things I want to address. Do not interact, post, or comment on any person's social media that I'm going to be showing you today. Just want to put that out there. We don't do any of that stuff. We just leave all our comments in the comment section down below. We'll have a discussion there. I want to talk about something real quick about DJ Eric because he claims that, of course, uh, ISOM is a self-insert, which people seems to me that people don't even understand the definition of what a self-insert is and don't understand why people call out the actual self-inserts in mainstream comics. Also, we're going to be talking about this Nyobi Comics guy that he kind of went back and forth with on Twitter, who claims basically that, oh, because you came out of nowhere, Eric came out of nowhere and made all this money, that he somehow owes shout outs to people, which he's not obligated to do so. And of course, our usual people, our usual suspects, Dick Masterson, aka Buster Baxter, is still on his little tirade, we'll say. But of course, as always, going to be promoting Rippaverse merch because I believe in this comic universe. You can get your pre-orders. Well, they're not pre-orders anymore. I guess you can get them now. Rippaverse Comics hoodie, short boxes, posters, comics, shirts, etc. Moving on over to Blade Devil 2, Chains of Blood, coming in at over 6 figures with 16 days to go. You can get all this beautiful art right here. If you're into the anime world, this would be a great read for you. 69 pages of story, 2 supplemental stories, one here, one here. You get cover A, you get a card. Cover B, you get a Luna card. Cover C, you get a card. This cover, you would get a card as well, but no longer available. If you signed up for the pre-launch and backed the physical perk, you would have gotten this card. You, of course, can get your mouse pads, your pillow covers, and you also get a art print and a foil cover when you back this campaign. You can also get Blade Devil 1 as an add-on in this campaign, or you can move on over to Fox Studios Unlimited and get a damage cover if you don't care too much about damage and you just want to read the book for a cheaper price. You can go over to this campaign and buy your book. So we're going to talk about Eric because he really does believe, because of course him and like everyone else, like I already said, don't understand what it means to be a self-insert. Now the people like Eric July call out are people who actually admit to self-inserting themselves into a story. Now a self-insert will require the story of the character of Isom to be about Eric July's life and not a name taken from an ancestor. Let's listen to what he has to say, of course.
Isn't a random name. It's my creative way to honor.
All right, hold on. Let me.
And he cuts it off. He doesn't even let him finish because this is exactly what Eric does. He does this all the time where he cuts people off at pivotal moments of a video to try to prove a point.
Let me process this for a second. So you make video after video after video attacking trans people, gay people, marginalized people.
He definitely doesn't make videos doing any of that. He calls out their nonsense when they do things like weirdo self-inserts, kind of like the I Am Not Starfire book and many other examples of self-inserts.
For doing what you call self-insertation or
It is a self-insert because they admit that it is a self-insert. Also, another one was Velma, where Mindy Kaling inserted herself into that one as well. That was another self-insert.
taking things from their lives and putting it into their stories, saying that that is a bad thing, but then
That's not what he says. He says specifically that people take themselves and they put it in the character. They take their appearance and they put it into the character that they're writing. That is what they're doing, Eric, but you are, as usual, a disingenuous person who doesn't understand arguments, who doesn't understand what people are actually talking about. That's your MO, and it's always been your MO, and it's always going to be your MO.
you admit in this video that Isom and the story of Isom, the character, his family and stuff, is based on you paying tribute to your real life family, which makes all of that a self-insert of.
Self-insert, again, would require that Eric inserts himself. That's why it's called a self-insert. You moron. Why do you have a channel called Eric Debunks and then you debunk nothing? You literally debunk nothing. You just make your arguments sound stupid every single time.
Your story of your life. This is why so many people cannot take you seriously. This is why you have so many people talking about you in the content that you make. Me particularly.
Who is so many people? Detractors? Nobody takes detractors seriously. We just point, laugh, and monetize them. That's all smart people do. They point, laugh, and monetize detractors, who are the only people out there that don't take these people seriously. Don't take people like Eric July seriously, or EVS seriously, or any of other big creators. Y'all are detractors. Of course you're not going to take people seriously because you think you're better than the people who are more successful than you. But nobody takes y'all seriously because y'all say the dumbest things ever. Because you guys never know what the heck you're talking about.
Because I'm tired of arguing with people like you who are like, oh, self-insert this or bringing your own life to that, blah, blah, blah. And then you go and do the same thing.
Nope, nobody argues with you. Eric July does not argue with weirdos like you. You block people after talking crap. You constantly do that all the time. You did it to me. You talked a bunch of crap. I asked what you said because you deleted the tweet. And then you blocked me because you're a coward. And you look ridiculous with your weirdo beards, your multicolored beards. You look weird. But anyway, moving on over to Nyobi Comics, where Eric July did a live stream talking about Ripper First Growth, talking about what games people are playing, and this person decides to have a comment. Like I said, do not interact, do not post, do not communicate with this person. Leave all your comments in the comment section down below, like I said. So we have Nyobi Comics, who says, I will say this to you. If you want the support of the creative community in comics, you also need to show us support. When was the last time you promoted an indie comic book creator on your show? Well, the last time he promoted somebody was Razor Fist, Ghost of the Badlands. So, and also he's not looking for the support of the creative community. He's looking for the support of the fans of his content. He's looking for actual paying customers. He said this many times, that he does not expect the support from his peers, although his peers will support his creative projects and his content because they're friends or they like him, but he does not require these things. He requires fans of his work. And not every fan is going to, support his comic. Some people may be just there to watch videos or watch live streams. Not everyone is interested in buying his comic. As always, is Eric July required to promote other creatives? No, he's not. CJ says he has had on many great comic book creators on his channel. He also retweets other people's projects. Also, he's not obligated to market your books. That is correct. You are the only one that should be marketing your books. It is your project. It is your job to market your stuff. It's no one else's job but your own. I'm not asking him to market me, and I've never seen these creators on his channel because you never look. He has live streams talking to EVS. He has live streams talking to Irene, who did Fiendish. He has a live stream and multiple live streams talking to Shane Davis, promoting Starlight Cats, promoting Inglorious Rex, probably promoting Xsend Level Up too. EVS, Shane Davis, Chuck Dixon, Graham Nolan have been on extended streams. July isn't CG and name those outside of the CG and Iron Age guys like Razor Fist and Drunk 3PO who are making books. Maybe point those whom you know towards CG, maybe more help. You refer to YouTube stars, I refer to small creators. Chuck Dixon is not a YouTube star. Graham Nolan is not a YouTube star. Shane Davis is not a YouTube star. They're all people who are in the mainstream who are now doing their own stuff, which, by the way, Starlight Cats from Shane Davis and Inglorious Rex from Shane Davis were both excellent books. I recommend them highly. Chuck Dixon is, of course, working on Alpha Core, and Graham Nolan has his, I think, was it Frankenstein, I think was it. He also has Alien Alamo and a couple of other books. So, Drunk 3PO, of course, has Achromatic Chronicles Blue, and Razor Fist, of course, has Ghost of the Badlands. I don't think it's right to basically say that the creative community will only support him if he participates in some quid pro quo for shoutouts. If they like the work, people should support it, but shouldn't expect anyone from that support. Exactly. To which, of course, he did have a response that says, "This is a weird comment, but I don't have a quote show outside of the Tuesday night's main event, and that's centered around gaming. But we just had a chat with Razorfist on the stream, which he links it there. I'm talking the guys in the trenches, not your already successful buddies. If you want something from us, you need to give something back." He doesn't have to give anything back. He's not obligated to support you. He's not obligated to shout you out. He's not obligated to promote you. It's the same concept of people who think that I'm expecting him to have me on his live streams. He's not required to do that, and I don't expect him to do that. But I appreciate that he appreciates me as a fan, unlike the mainstream comic industry. Bro, I don't know what you mean by trenches, nor do I know who us is. To my knowledge, I have no one asked anything of you. I've never asked anything of you. You asked the community to back support your book, but what have you given back? And by trenches, I mean working at this for at least 10 years in comics. Well, that sounds like a you problem. If you've been working in this for 10 years and you can't successfully market your book, you might have to figure out what you can change up and what you can do differently. You might want to learn something from someone who's doing it better, which is what I do. I ask people who are doing stuff better, who are more successful at these things like YouTube, and I ask people their opinions on how to change it up. Bro, who is the community you're referring to? See, the fact you're unaware tells me all. We have a community. If you took part, you would know. We all have YouTube shows. We interview and promote each other, but there are those who just take for themselves. It tells you that I have not asked nor required support of your community, and I'm not exactly familiar with you. Then what's the problem? You want to play in our yard and give nothing back. That's the problem. So you're making this claim that he has to give something back because he played in your yard, even though he's not required to do that. Yet you want to be on a live stream and say, "Oh, he's definitely not obligated, but it would be nice for him to promote us small people." He doesn't have to do anything he doesn't want to do. This is really weird. What's weird? You come into the yard, you want all the creators to respect and support you, but you show no love to the people that paved the way for you to even crowdfund a comic. I've been at this from 2014, long before you even knew what indie comics are all about. Haven't crowdfunded a comic because he hasn't. Sure did on your own site with a Shopify crowdfunding app. You ran a campaign that's crowdfunding. No, he ran a pre-order, not a crowdfund. It's already been paid and funded for by his own money. But this is why he's upset, clearly, because his campaign's not doing as well. He should be focusing on promoting this rather than trying to figure out why Air July isn't promoting smaller creators. So moving on over to this video, who they want to say, "Oh, did he really compare this thing to, his quote-unquote beef with Dick Masterson?" No, he did not. So, but we're going to listen to it.
We have a right to respond. I just think that that response in a time of war that they didn't ask for is much different than Hamas going in and specifically targeting innocent children.
Well, again, what's going to happen is people are going to defend that action or speak, not even defense, it's more of speaking against, let's say, a reaction, because people are going to say, well, before that, they did this,
Right.
and before that, that's how it always happens. This is how it is, and I'm dealing with this, and I've dealt with this.
But that's government problems.
100%.
Not innocent civilians.
I agree 100%.
Well, you said institution against institution.
Yes,
Right.
that's exactly what it is. And I've dealt with this, and I think everybody here has dealt with this on more of a micro level. It's a cultural thing. And any event that someone feels, and people that follow me know where I'm going with this, I'm not going to bore anybody with the details because I have my own experiences here. But what happens is that in the event that people have made up their mind that you are not to be liked, okay? Mm-hmm. Whether it be a person, individual person, type of person, no matter what. Anything that you do is unjustified. Anything that someone else does to you is to be justified. And to your point, you worded it perfectly where you say, hey, you're just supposed to take it on the chin. That's the expectation it is that they have for people.
What he's basically saying is that you can't have an opinion. You should just be told to not have an opinion, and that everything bad they say about you, you should just take it. You shouldn't react or respond to it. Same thing about having opinion on things of this nature.
People that they despise. Now, why they despise them, whatever. Is it because they were told?
There's hate in their heart.
Is it hatred in their heart? Yeah, it could be a various, whatever. They've made up their mind that anything that you do is wrong. Yeah. Any reaction that you have is unjustified. But anything that you have, anything that someone else does to you, you had it coming. It was your fault. Yada, yada, yada. I think a lot of us deal with this, but what we're seeing right here is this more at like just a massive level. I'm not going to sit up here and pretend like what's happening in my life is the same as what's going on like in Israel.
He's literally said he's not going to pretend like it's the same thing, but yet they want to say that he's somehow comparing the two situations, which he's not. Shout out to Dan Vasquez as well for saying, man buns and pineapple and pizza combined don't reach the levels of gayness of the dude who engages in friendly fire drama on social media. He's probably talking about EVS. It's always the same: broomstick arms, beer belly, and can't bench press 2 donuts. Never took a give a punch sack of estrogen. Shout out to Dan Vasquez. Subscribe to Dan Vasquez. We want him to get 1 million subs before Gary of Neurotic. I'm going to move over to this, of course. Air July really can't take any criticism at all. Meanwhile, he's taking a criticism of people like Literature Devil and Professor Hayton, who have made reviews on ISOM, and he's been pretty fine with it. The reason he doesn't take criticism of people like Buster Baxter or Dick Masterson is because he argues in bad faith. He's constantly said that ISOM was a scam, a fraud. He's doing charity fraud. He's doing all these negative things towards Eric July's campaign, trying to take down his business and what he's built. And that's why he doesn't take people like that weirdo seriously. As I showed before, they were in the premiere putting bunnies or whatever they trolley crap they want to do, right? Bro said I'm Israel and Buster Baxter's pal. No, that's not what was said. You have no brain cells to rub together, Riley. This is why you say the same crap that everybody else in your little camp says, because all of y'all are NPCs and you're in a cult. This was EVS doing a live stream explaining his tweet that he put out of a DM. The anti-roll crowd is really wearing their race card thin. No, not really. No one really doing that. I'm just calling out your nonsense that you like to do or spew, like people who want to visit people's ancestors and stuff, which is kind of lame and weird to do, all because you dislike a person who didn't take your criticism to heart, and it was not criticism at all. We all knew it was garbage. And he wasn't arguing with fans. He wasn't doing that. I watched that live stream. He definitely wasn't doing that nonsense. But again, you argue in bad faith. You make up crap as you go. And this is what you do. See, and then here, Riley, of course, does the same thing to EVS's warehouse, right? But in this case, it was all planned out. And as a good friend of mine, LG, has said before, shout out to 210LG. I'll put his YouTube channel in the description. Go follow him on YouTube and Twitter. He has said at least if it was something with Eric July that he had planned and they were friends and stuff, it would be a joke. But see, here is where it was planned out. They knew it was going to be a joke, that he would put dollar bills on EVS's warehouse. It was all planned out. Even have a picture together. Even more nonsense. Of course, dude didn't even tag Sheepsidian because you're a coward. But again, he's allowed to delete your comment. He doesn't have to tolerate you being in chat. And that's another thing these weirdos continue to do. They continue to think that they are required, they're required to be tolerated in the chat. No one has to tolerate your nonsense or you in general. People could do whatever they want, and mods act accordingly. Mods will act accordingly. And that's exactly what Sheepsidian did. He acted accordingly to you coming into the stream. So at the end of the day, these are the type of people, of course, like I always say, we're dealing with, or Eric is dealing with, that we have to look out for. And I'm going to constantly call out this nonsense because that's exactly what it all is. It's all nonsense. So I thank you all for checking out this video. I really do appreciate all the new subscribers, returning subscribers, new viewers, returning viewers. If you do like this video, hit the like button, comment below what you feel about all this. Keep all your comments in the comment section down below. Do not interact, post, or communicate with anybody I've shown in this video. This is going to be the third time I said it in this video. Subscribe for more content. Hit the bell for notifications and set the bell to all. That way you get notifications anytime I post a new video. And I will see you all on the next one. Peace.